Hey YouTube, Lawler here. It's been officially a couple weeks into the RLCS season, which means we've had what seems like a majority of rosters being signed and finalized. If you guys are trying to stay up to date on this, I try to do my best. It's been a couple weeks since we've done one of these, just because we were going through the first opens of every single region. But now that we've done that, we should have pretty much all the teams associated with who's going to pick them up, unless we see a team like there's rumors of 9 lives with Chicago, Kofor, and Hoxer potentially getting picked up here soon. But overall, we have a majority of the teams outside of ones that have a last second chance to make the majors that are going to be signed. So with that in mind, if you guys want to stay up to date, description down below, there's a link to this document. We just updated it before recording this video. Make sure you guys go check that out. But with that said, let's jump into these. We're going to try to go in order of release, even though we may be jumping around regions a lot. The first one is the Chiefs have officially picked up. We were wondering if the Chiefs were going to come back into the space, and they have, picking up Hunter, Fiber, and an import in Raziers, which is kind of weird because Raziers, as you guys have seen in previous videos, talked about how going to a minor region or a lesser region kind of kills his career and how he wasn't sure on if that's exactly what he wanted to do just yet. Turns out he changed his mind again, and I also told you guys that the Chiefs usually pay import talent quite a bit. I got to hear a lot about this from Joris when he was with Super Oli that I was coaching, and him going over to EWC and all that kind of stuff, and what the opportunities that Chiefs were going to provide him. But base rate for Raziers, I'm sure he is very happy with that salary and competing over in that region. If you guys haven't seen my recap videos that have been putting out on Tuesday, big recommendation is go checking out those, because we do talk about the results for the first regional as well, and it's a pretty competitive spot. Outside of that, we did get confirmation as well that Archie Joyo, former Oxygen, are going to be joining with Oli. We did get to see them come in and compete, and there was rumors of them getting picked up by a Saudi team, and that has happened. While Nick was brought over to build a project over in Saudi, I heard rumors that he was going to try to pick up some young mechanical talent and pair that with an import, ironically enough. That is happening with another team we'll talk about here shortly. But instead, they go the other route because the opportunity presents itself, and now they're in a more competitive region. GK did not have the greatest results, which we kind of expected. We don't know if work ethic and stuff is going to be there, but it is a very competitive region. But outside of that, I do think Oli's a little bit underrated. But when he is confident and he is in full belief that he is capable of things, he is a very, very talented and underrated player. Downside is, in my opinion, is this team going to be a good environment? Is it going to be a motivated environment? I'm not exactly sure. I have concerns on this roster and this lineup and seeing what's going to happen. But happy to the fact that one of the jobless guys have found a home. Very, very happy for Oli. He's been jobless since the G1 situation. Probably hasn't been paid by G1 yet either. So very, very happy. I consider this a top 8 team. I expect this team to be consistently top 8. That's my expectation. Will they consistently bump into the top 6, top 4? I don't know, but I think they peak at top 6. I say that, but if the guys start putting hours in grinding, maybe we see something different. After that, Pioneers, we did get confirmation. I already told you guys, and this is something that if you're familiar with my channel, I told you guys unofficially a few weeks ago. I did talk to ownership over at Pioneers, and they gave me the A-OK to leak it. But we knew that they were going to announce this lineup shortly before stuff went down last Friday. But Eris, JNAPS, and Aqua have officially confirmed, and they are going to be repping the Pioneers. Unfortunately, not a good first showing in their attempt, in their first crack at it. They did go 2-3 because of the NRG situation, where NRG looked really, really sloppy in Swiss. So this team did not make top 16. Pretty crazy stuff. They're sitting in the 17 to 24 range right now. If they don't make top 2 and a top 4, they're not going to the major. Simple as that. Up next, we've got the Ultimates, another Saudi team coming in and picking up First Killer Chronic and LJ. A little bit insight about this roster. A lot of people dogging on them, asking for too much. I can say with utmost certainty, and from my sources, it is not the fact that they were looking for too much. To sprinkle some insight into this, NRG did have full intentions of picking up this squad. NRG saw an opportunity to be back in the top 4, despite being top 12, top 10-ish for the last couple of years. And this team, with the talent that they have, they felt very comfortable with the ability to go and make a run for it. So they did approach this team, but then the G2 situation happened and G2 became available. And if you're NRG and you're going to be spending that kind of money, you might as well pick up the team that literally the worst they performed was second place all of last year. And fun fact, despite having a terrible Swiss and a terrible open qualifier, Energy still won the whole event. So clearly they picked the right thing. This team, though, in particular, has had a couple opportunities and a couple of people reach out to them. And I'm glad that they had options that were able to finally solidify being with them. To my knowledge, I heard that G2 is potentially going to sign this team as well. I feel confident being able to say that now. It was something that I was biting my tongue on. I'm pretty sure they were very close to signing, but things just ended up not working out, and the Ultimates opportunity seems to be a bit better, and the G2 contract was very heavily in G2's favor. So maybe G2, if they find the right team, is still willing to pick somebody up. We'll have to wait and see. Up next, Dignitas. We've been rumoring this one. Are they, aren't they? Jack's saying they're not. Some are saying they are. But we did get confirmation that Dignitas has officially moved everybody over back to Europe. So I know Jack and Yoris are very happy about that. I'm sure Stizzy is too. Just the ability to live at home. You don't have to go out of an Airbnb or be somewhere that is unfamiliar in a different country. Jack, I know, has been considering moving back anyway and finding a European team just due to the fact of like his significant others over there. And it's like, being away from friends, family, loved ones just sucks. So the fact that he doesn't have to do that for another 3 to 6 months out of his life, I'm sure he's very happy about. As for Yoris, he was with M80 with Nas, and Yoris are able to finally go back home. So I'm sure they're happy about that. As for Dignitas, I'm sure they're getting a much cheaper investment. I'm sure they've mitigated quite a bit. And just like I talked about Oli, I'm just happy to see Yoris with a home. A lot of these guys have been fighting and fending without a official like representation. I can tell you a lot of these organizations have not paid their players. Next, Corinthians does pick up a team of familiar faces. Whether they will be competitive or not in the region, we'll have to wait and see. Drop, Sad, and Paquitas, and Brad. Pretty fun team. A team that has a lot of history. Very interested to see on how they do with Corinthians. Right now, the top two and Sam are without a doubt Furia and Team Secret, who we'll talk about here in a second, going all the way to Game 7 in the grand finals. Very, very entertaining region to watch. Up next, we got Team Power and a lot of the OCE lads that are starting to get picked up. Gus, Scrub, and Shores have been picked up as well. So Power is back in OCE. They are competing yet again. Shout outs to Lachlan and those guys. Glad to see them continue to support their region. I'm sure they're getting it in for a pretty cheap amount, but at the end of the day, having more representation in that region is always the better. It allows those guys to commit full time, allows them to be more competitive, which is great. The difficulty is they're going to have to go up against the big bad. TSM is back as well. TSM leaves NA, where they had Creams, Hockey, and Wavy, and are now going over to OCE because it's cheap, it's affordable, and they can make money off of it. I assume they are very much so enjoying that Saudi money from EWC, because they're going to have to field a Rocket League team for that, and the finances are juicy. With that said, they do have a good team. I think Amphis, Kaka, and Super Lucky are definitely a good and very solid team. I'm sure TSM is going to be happy with their investment. After that, I am running out of tabs, so I think that's everything. No, we skipped ahead. We did skip, and I don't know how to say this team. One of the more important ones, El Katsaya. I don't know if that's how you say that. I talked about GK with Nick potentially picking up the two talented mechanical unknown players. Dr. Known and Nush are very, very young, very, very talented. And then he wanted to pair it with an EU veteran. And if you guys do not know Tox is one of those players that has provided a lot of stability to rosters. We saw it with Magnifico in the past. I think you have a veteran with a good head on his shoulders, good work ethic that you're going to pair with two very talented players. I would not be surprised if this team does well. As of right now, it is a battle between Falcons and Twisted Minds. If you guys don't remember Twisted Minds, that is the full import team. That is with Rise, Atomic, and I can't think of their third, and Nalpo. Not a full import, but two imports, a majority of imports. I would say this team's ranked probably number 3, number 4. They're definitely top 4. They're looking pretty good. So I think this team will get better as time progresses. But the other teams have more right now talent, more experience, more LAN exposure, and I would assume that stays the case. So we'll have to wait and see on how that all plays out. But that is what we've got for updated rosters, just as a heads up for everybody. There's going to be some more here soon. I'll try to update you guys where I can. I know these are pretty out of date, but this is more so for the YouTube audience that doesn't live on Twitter or Reddit and stuff, as you guys know. So a lot of you guys are going to be like, hey, these are old. But for everybody who only tunes into the YouTube channel as their source, it's for you guys. Also, if you guys have made it this far in the video, it's greatly appreciated. If you guys did not see the community post or the social posts, My house is flooded right now. The entire first floor of my house is completely flooded and has to be torn apart and rebuilt and stuff. Just as a disclaimer, there may be some delays in content. There may be some delays in just me doing anything when it comes to YouTube, Twitch, whatever. I'm personally nervous to stream because I don't know if electrical wiring and stuff in the basement is going to cause first level is going to cause issues, and what that situation may be. Plus, I'm receiving phone calls from insurance companies and stuff like every few minutes. So can you really have a stream when I've got to get up and walk away and answer those? It's going to be tough. So figured I would let you guys all know. If you don't see stuff for a while, by all means, that is the reason why. So if you guys have made it this far, it's greatly appreciated. I'm going to go try to relax and take my mind off of stuff. But hopefully there's some videos for you guys this week as EU is in swing. We'll have top 16s breakdown and all that kind of stuff, getting ready for predictions and everything, hopefully, and exported and made and edited down for you guys. So if you guys see me using my phone, it's because I'm no longer allowed to live in my house during the construction. I'm trying to make ends meet. So appreciate y'all. As always, like, subscribe, notifications, turn that stuff on, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.